When did you realize the man you were marrying had a dark secret? Have you ever felt the weight of a secret? That's how the story of Jenna, my beloved sister, and Rob, her now infamous fiancé, felt for me. Jenna and I grew up in Sterling Heights, a picturesque town that seemed untouched by time. Think cobblestone streets, kids playing hopscotch, and the golden aura of sunsets lasting a tad too long. Our childhood home, an old Victorian with blue shutters, was the backdrop for countless memories. Inseparable since birth, Jenna and I have built an empire of shared dreams. We would sneak into the attic during thunderstorms, snuggling in blankets and making up stories about pirates and far-off lands. Our favorite was about Captain Bluebeard and his quest for the heart of the sea, a mysterious gem with untold powers. Then Jenna went to college in Boston. I remember the day she met Rob. He was in her political science class, a tall, broad-shouldered man with a confident stride to the world. Rob was the quintessential gentleman, polite, accomplished, and attentive. But every time I saw him, a chill ran down my spine. I couldn't put my finger on it, but my instincts screamed that he wore a mask. Jenna's tales of college became Rob-centric. I missed her. I missed us one summer evening. We sat by the lakeside, our toes touching the cold water. With hesitance in my voice, I told Jenna about my reservations regarding Rob. She exploded. Our emotional exchange echoed across the still lake, ending with her words, "Stay out of my life." The months following the lakeside confrontation were a blur of regrets and missed opportunities. Sterling Heights, with its sun-kissed evenings and the comforting home of Cicada, suddenly felt alien. The house with blue shutters and once a sanctuary of memories, stood as a silent witness to our broken bond as autumn leaves carpeted our hometown streets. Whispers floated around that Jenna and Rob were now engaged. It was Miss Collins, our next-door neighbor and town's primary source of gossip, who couldn't resist sharing the news. Jenna showed me the ring. "Dear," she said, her voice dripping with a mix of enthusiasm and pity. "Quite a rock. But it's strange I haven't seen an invitation for you." I tried to push past the hurt, but it gnawed at me like a persistent itch. And then, one cold evening, an unexpected letter arrived, with no return address, just a stark warning. "Beware of Rob. He isn't who he claims to be." Every fiber of my being resonated with the anonymous message. Driven by concern and a thirst for the truth, I took a bold step. I hired a private investigator to dive into Rob's life. Every week I'd received bits and pieces about him. Stories from his past tales have changed, identities and hints about a life skillfully kept hidden. Yet even as this unfolded, Jenna's wedding preparations progressed at full speed. I'd hear snippets, the selection of a vintage lace gown, flower arrangements, and rehearsal dinners. But what pained me the most was the realization that I might not be there on her most special day. One fateful day, the investigator handed me a file. It was thicker than I expected and bore an ominous weight. As I turned through the pages, the horrors of Rob's past unfurled. There were mentions of financial fraud, ties to underground syndicates, and, most shockingly, a previous marriage that had ended under mysterious circumstances. Armed with this information, a storm of emotions brewed within me. Do I confront Jenna? Do I alert the authorities? Or do I, out of sheer desperation and love for my sister, take matters into my own hands? Amidst these whirlwind thoughts, another realization hit me. The wedding was just a week away. For days I grappled with my emotions. The weight of the information I held was tremendous, but the fear of losing Jenna completely stopped me in my tracks. A plan began to form in my mind, a delicate dance between exposing Rob and ensuring my sister's safety. The town was crowded with wedding excitement. Invitations had been sent, RSVPs received, but none had my name. However, news of a secret envelope being mailed to all the guests reached my ears. This envelope contained select excerpts from Rob's past, his shady financial dealings, a photograph of his supposed ex-wife, and rumors about his ties with the criminal underworld. The day before the wedding, Sterling Heights was cloaked in an air of palpable tension. Conversations in local diners, parks, and stores invariably veered toward the mysterious envelope. Who had sent it? What did it mean? The murmurs grew louder. As I had anticipated, Jenna confronted me. Her face was a canvas of emotions, anger, hurt, betrayal, and beneath it all, a flicker of doubt about Rob in our parents' living room, with its memories of happier times we faced off. "Did you send these?" she demanded, tears streaming down her face. "No," I replied calmly. "But I did hire an investigator. I needed to know if my feelings about Rob were justified." Handing her the thick file, I added, "This is everything I found." She hesitated for a moment, and then began to read. Hours seemed to pass. The room was thick with tension, only broken by Jenna's occasional gasps or murmurs. Finally, she looked up. "What do I do now?" she whispered. "We confront him together," I said, squeezing her hand. Dawn was breaking as we reached Rob's house. Surprisingly, he let us in. In his living room, under the harsh scrutiny of the morning sun, we laid out the evidence. Rob's mask of charm and sophistication crumbled. But instead of confessing, he laughed, a cold, heartless laugh that sent shivers down our spines. "Do you think this will stop me?" he sneered. "Everyone has a past." Yes, I made mistakes, but I love Jenna. The standoff was interrupted by the sound of sirens. Blue and red lights flashed outside. The local police, having received an anonymous tip, which I later learned was from the private investigator, came to arrest Rob for his alleged tribes. The wedding was, of course, called off. It took time, but Jenna slowly pieced her life back together. We both did. Our bond, which had been strained to its limits, began to heal. The sprawling Victorian house with blue shutters became our sanctuary once more. In the following years, Jenna transformed her pain into purpose. She started a foundation to help women who've been deceived in relationships. I, finding a newfound appreciation for truth and justice, became a detective. Sterling Heights, with its undying charm and timeless sunsets, remained our anchor. Our tale, filled with dark secrets, betrayal, and redemption, became a testament to the town's resilience. As for Captain Bluebeard and the Heart of the Sea, well, that story took on a life of its own. It became a published book, with Jenna as the author and me as her inspiration. We realized that every storm, no matter how dark, eventually gives way to clear skies. And through it all we hid each other.